Next week is the finale, apparently. And apparently the finale is going to be entirely anime original. Now, before you start getting in an uproar, and you start worrying, start saying, oh, the ending is going to be bad, let me clarify something. So, I was told that apparently the finale of, the Ballroom coming out next week's episode, the finale is going to be done by the writer of the series. For instance, it's taking the story like what the writer wanted and just making it into anime only. Even though it's not in the manga, this is the stuff that the, manga writer actually wanted added into the first place. So, basically, even though it's going to be anime original, it's technically canon. It's still what the series was supposed to do, or where it was going to go if it was in the manga. And the reason why the manga hasn't gotten to this part yet is apparently the writer is actually sick and hasn't, wrote in a while, and is going to be like on a 2-month hiatus. I just want to clarify that for any of you that were unaware. So yes, the next episode of Welcome to the Ballroom is anime original. We don't really know what to expect. Nobody knows what to expect. Me as an anime only, I don't know what to expect. Manga readers, they don't know what to expect. It's going to be entirely new content. So, it's something to look forward to. It could be good, it could be bad, we don't really know, but I don't think it's really the time to freak out about it, since it has also been told that it's been done by the main writer of the series. For instance, this is where the writer wanted to take the story. So anyways, let's get off of that, let's talk about this episode. So, we get some clarification to Kugimiya and Edogawa's relationship, and kind of how they interact with each other in the past, and what, they are now doing to change themselves and also become better partners together. So in this case, we go back to the flashback of Kugimiya when he was in the hospital. And as we know, Kugimiya was in a very, very, very bad position at the time. He had a very bad outlook, the way he viewed himself, the way he viewed his dance, and all that, how he felt like he just wasn't as good as others, just all these different things. We knew he was having a very depressing aspect or part of his life. And in this case, as we know, his, senpai, his teacher came in and was like, hey, I can't make you a dancer, I can't make you what I said I was going to be able to make you, and it was just heartbreaking. It was a very heartbreaking moment, and I discussed that in length in last week's episode, so I'm not going to go into those details once again. But, once all that was said and done, Edogawa was there, and she talks with this man, and we found out that Edogawa, she was someone that didn't want to do pro dancing. She was someone that did dancing as a hobby. That was what she wanted. For instance, she didn't want to professionally get paid by doing dancing. She didn't want to make it into her career. She wanted to just do it as a hobby, do it for fun, and that's basically it. She didn't want to take it any further than that, which in some ways I respect that. It's understandable. Sometimes, people don't want to go that far. They just want to do something as a hobby. And that's what Edogawa wanted. She wanted to just do dancing as a hobby. However, as we know, Kugimiya, he is an individual that wanted to push dancing to the limit. He wanted to be a pro dancer, and we saw how his dream of what he wanted and all that slowly was crushed in his flashback in last week's episode. And in this, we see that Edogawa is always apparently held this aspect of where she wants to just do dancing as a hobby. But in this episode, when everything is looking rough, when everything is going downhill, and when Kugimiya is now facing a very troubled time to where he could possibly lose himself and maybe give up dancing completely, you have it to where Edogawa steps in and saves him. Holds him up. She actually held up the leader of the pair and helped him out to get him back on his feet, and then he realized in that moment when he flashed back to what she meant to him. And also when he asked that question, I thought you wanted to only do dancing as a hobby. And that scene implies that she was starting to take dancing a lot more serious. She wanted to be that support for Kugimiya. She wanted to show that she will be there for him, but also she probably is starting to look into maybe being a professional dancer because of that. So I like the relationship, and I like how she kind of brought him back up and all that, held him back up, and then he got back up on his own 2 feet and he started dancing once again, which is what I want to talk about. So we see a very great moment, okay? We have it to where Tatra and Shinatsu, they steal the show. And their dancing is just straight beautiful. And as it continues on, the entire crowd starts looking in at Shinatsu and Tatra. And as we know, it's been clarified already a couple times in the series, when it comes to dancing and all that, when it comes to the judges, obviously if all eyes are focusing on one couple, then all the others are not really going to be noticed. Which in turn means that they're not going to be voted on, they're not going to be able to really carry over, because this one dancing pair, they're just, stealing the spotlight. And that's just how it works. And so in this case, with, Tatra and Shinatsu both stealing the spotlight, it was now taking all that attention away from Kugimiya and Edogawa, and that is something that didn't sit right with him. For instance, Kugimiya, he was like, I don't like this. He looked over at, Tatra, and he let Tatra's overall aura, what he was doing, get to him, and he kind of got off sync, and he tried to replicate that by moving very quickly, which in turn strained him, and that's what caused him to get off balance, go for a cramp. It's because he didn't want to lose. He wanted to win. But at the same time, though, he tried to do something he wasn't accustomed to, which in turn is what caused that problem, but then led to Itogawa's awakening, because then she got serious and helped this man out. And then he stepped up, remembered the past, and started to dance with grace. This shows the level of difference between Tatra and Shinatsu and Itogawa and Kugimiya. Tatra and Shinatsu, they looked beautiful, okay? They looked straight beautiful. They were doing splendid dancing. However, even with all of this refined skill that we saw right there, with them dancing and all that, they finally found themselves. They finally are now kind of in sync. It shows that Kugimiya and Itogawa, since they've been in the game for such a long time, they have been dancing for years now. Now, obviously, they will show their skills. They can just come up and steal the show like it's nothing. And that's exactly what happened. Even though Tatra and Shinatsu obviously was stealing the floor, the spotlight and all that, you had to where Kugimiya and Itogawa, they just come up and they're like, this is our spotlight. And they just start dancing and all that, which shows how skilled they are. They're not someone that can just go down that easy. So I do like that. I do like that aspect of showcasing the level of difference of how skilled these two couples are from each other, and that also how their overall dancing styles are the exact opposite. One is about evolution, and one is about the classics, the old style of dancing, or history, to be, a better term to it. So I do like that. I do like how these two are individuals that are the exact opposites, and I feel like this is going to be a very, very good rivalry in the future of the series. Even though there's no more content technically for the manga, I do have a very good feeling that Kugimiya and Tatra and all that, they're going to have this rivalry for a very long time, and they're constantly going to be competing on whose dancing is better. For instance, is it evolution, the evolution of dancing, or is it the history of dancing and the, the basics, everything that we have seen from dancing? I feel like that's the big thing that's going to happen here. These two are going to become major rivals in the future of the series. So I am looking forward to that. But anyways, though, besides that, let's talk about Sengoku for a second. So Sengoku gives Tatra a call, and before we find out that Sengoku isn't there, obviously, he talks to Tatra. He's like, I'm watching. You really learned how to, put your hair back, do your hair. And automatically, Tatra, he lightened up. He started running around and all that, looking for Sengoku. He couldn't see him. He couldn't find him. And even then, though, it seemed like Sengoku was there watching over him. And in a way, he still was. Even though he wasn't there, he technically still was watching over Tatra. He was keeping up to date, and he also was basically giving Tatra his blessing. But I do like what Sengoku said. He's like, once the conversation's done, he hangs up the phone from, Tatra. He's like, Tatra is the type of person that really enjoys when he gets watched, when someone is watching him. And we know this. This is something that's been very apparent since the beginning of the series. Since, the starting episodes, we have known that Tatra is someone that likes all eyes on him. He likes the attention, all of that. He likes people to focus on him. And that's why he was smiling when he first did his dance in the first part of the series. And so, seeing how Sengoku said that, it just shows how he's very aware of Tatra's personality, and that was the last boost of confidence that he actually needed. And that's what drove him to do so well in this episode. Why Tatra was able to dance was because he felt like someone that he looked up to, his teacher, his master, basically, was looking at him and saying, hey, I'm here watching over you, you're doing really good out there, keep it up. And I like that. I truly do appreciate that. It is a really good segment of the episode. So I'm going to end it there. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Did you enjoy this episode? Did you hate this episode? Please be honest in the comments below. If you like my content, please subscribe, and if you like this video, please leave a like. I love you guys. You have a wonderful day or not wherever you live. Happy holidays. Chibi out.